Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is my first video on painting. Today I'm going to show you how to paint a sort of Arabian skin colour. So when we're thinking about the Haradrim, and what better figures to paint it on than African guard, where there's a lot of flesh showing. So it's quite a simple tutorial, which I kind of worked out myself, just from a little experimentation. The paints you're going to need are as follows: leather brown, this is a Vallejo colour. You're going to need red leather, a Citadel wash, which is going to be Agrax earth shade, and Cadian Fleshtone, or any other kind of fleshy colour, and then lastly pale sand or cream colour. So to start it off, you're going to need a 1-to-1 part mix of these two colours. I'm also using a thinner. Now this is the thinner I use, a life colour thinner. Put a big lot of it and then put it into little pipettes. These are quite good. So, as I said, simple 1-to-1. And bit of thinner. So mix this up. You don't want it too watery, but it's fine if it isn't. You can always add a bit more paint to it. So that's the sort of colour we're looking at. So get your model, just put it on nice and thick, well, not too thick, but with the thinner it should go on. So I've given this 2 coats, 2 thin coats, and it's given it a nice coverage. So this will need to be washed with the earth shade. So I'll pop that open. Just nice even coverage over all of the skin. And allow it to not pull too much, but pull a little bit in the shadowy places. Underneath the arms especially. Now you might think, Matt, what are you doing? It's too dark. But this is giving us a really nice base coat for the top layers. I'm not sure whether the colour of this video will turn out perfectly, so I'll put on some pictures at the end, just to show you the overall finish, and in the eye slots as well. Brilliant. So leave that to dry. Okay guys, so now that's dried, you're going to need to apply the same 2-part 1-to-1 mix of the first 2 colours again, and this is going to be this is going to start the process of rounding off some of the fleshy areas, making it look like it's bulging, should we say. So with a thin coat again, but enough pigment in to take shape. Now this is quite a crucial stage, this, because it starts building up the main colours again. So what you need to do is do it on all the raised areas, all the main areas, and note that you're going to still be highlighting over these after. So if we keep going, look at the back here, you need to get all these little muscle areas, all the shoulders, that sort of thing. All around there. I'll continue this, and especially on the hands, you need to get pretty much the whole of that hand, all there, and then just lightly brush over so you're not getting in the gaps of the fingers, because we want to keep those separate, and just a bit on the nose in the eye line. So that's the main area is done, and we've still got shadowing happening. There you go. So it's starting to pick up shape now. Now this next layer is going to be the base colour for what the flesh is going to look like in the end, pretty much, without the highlights. So for this you're going to need 2 parts of this Cadian Fleshtone, or any other average sort of fleshy colour. So let's put that out. Sort of a decent amount. Okay, so that's quite a bit. Plus the previous 2 parts. So 2 parts of the Fleshtone and 1 part of each of these. This will be your coloured Fleshtone. Now I'll show you a screenshot from the Lord of the Rings film, just here. Now there you will have seen the Haradrim guy that Faramir shot, and as you can see that Fleshtone is quite similar to what I've just created. So for this, if you have the right amount of thinner in, what you can do is almost wet blend it onto the areas. So let's take this side bicep, I want to be putting this on like so, and leaving the gaps. And this will dry a little bit darker, so we're making up like fleshy areas of the raised muscle and skin. So here we have the Fleshtone added with all the right little areas left. Just add a little bit more actually underneath there. So the key with this is not to allow any brush strokes to appear in the model. So use thin layers and be patient and don't rush it. So the next stage will be to highlight. Now for my highlight, my first highlight, I'm using a 2-part fine highlighting. So for my first part I will use pure Cadian Fleshtone, and this will be thinned down using the same thinner. While this stage is quite fun, it does require a lot of patience and a lot of precision, because you don't want to end up with too thick lines on the model, because it'll look too cartoony and the skin won't look right. So what you need to be doing is just edging it slightly, making sure it's thinned, and just highlighting the edges as such. So going around the edges of where something's highlighted with the Cadian Fleshtone. So a little bit on the nose and on the cheek. There we go. So see this muscle here by the shoulder? Let's just show you that. I'm going to be putting a line in here and then a line in the back here. So as also around here, just so you get the definition and muscle tone. Now with the fingers and the hands, you're going to want to be putting like little dots on the knuckles and all the little joints. And for the first layer, it's okay just to, for the first highlight, to put a bit actually on the fingers. And the thing that sets off the hands is to paint down the lines of the tendons. Now the belly is strange, so you've got to put like a little, go around the belly button first, like that, and then you want to put a line all around the bottom of the belly, and also as you've got a little bit of a bulge around the belly, you've got to do that. And now it's crucial that your paint is still quite thin in this stage, because you don't want to be getting thick lines, and you want this to be like a gradual process. So you can do it a couple times there, and then go in for one underneath thick one, that will outline that stuff. So that stage is nearly there. I'll just finish that off and then we'll get on to the next stage. Okay, so I mean, you could stop at this level. However, I feel that I really want to make my miniatures pop. So to go that extra little step further, what you'll need to be doing is adding 1 part of pale sand to 2 parts Cadian flesh. And this you can add as much or little as you want. The more you add, the more cartoony it will look, but you want it to be noticeable. So just, I think that's about right for me. There, maybe perhaps a little bit more there. There we go. So this, now you really have to follow what you've already put in place. So say on the belly button here, follow it like that. So it's just little accents. So as you can see, this is building up a really nice tone of well-built muscle. You don't want to go over the top with this, because it looks silly and, like I said, look a bit cartoonish. But just be sensible in where you're putting the highlights. So guys, thank you for watching. This is the end result. I'll show some high quality pictures at the end, like I've said, and just let me know what you think, and if there's any tips that you could say about future videos, if I do any more painting tutorials. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you.